Play different.
Welcome to another HyperStack stack, and in this video we're going to look at 3 more utilities, starting with HyperLabels right here. Let's check out the author. That's right. And here is how to use this stack. That's certainly information on how to use this stack. Alright, let's get out of here. So basically this is a tool for making labels for floppy disks, as suggested right here. Let's go ahead and look at the index. So let's find a good one to start with. All those look very busy. Old games. Here we are. Okay, so here you could print this out, as you can see here, and then stick it to your floppy disks, assuming you print it onto sticky paper. You can also make a catalog on what is on a disk, which is very useful. But let's go ahead and make a new label. Okay, here we are. Let's start by adding an icon. As you can see here, there's quite a lot to choose from. Let's go with the Enterprise. Donk. There we are. So we can just drag it around. Let's plonk it up here. So this little line here indicates that's the spine. So you can write in little writing here what's on the disk if you want to see it on top. And we can go up here and add some writing. So let's write Star Trek. There we go. Oops, don't need to do that. And now we can select it. And rotate it. There we go. Select it. And now we can move it up here, because the text here needs to be upside down because it's going to be printed on the other side of the disk. It's actually a quite versatile tool and quite impressive. I could see this being quite useful back in the day, but I don't have any labels I need to print out, so that is HyperLabel. And now we are looking at the creator. This is a very simple stack for creating advanced Dungeons and Dragons characters, but it is free, so let's take a look at it. Alright, it's character name, Bob Hoskins, and he's going to be a ranger, and a wild elf ranger at that. And let's find scores. Basically just gives you a random stats over here. Okay, and you can click them individually if you just want to re-roll one stat. Like so. So that's all there is to it. Very basic, as you can see, but it could fill your needs. And now we are looking at Dungeon Mastery, which is a much more advanced Dungeon Master tool. Ooh. That's ruddy spooky. So here we go. Brings the power of the Macintosh to fantasy role-playing. It's distributed as shareware for $10, and you get quite a lot for that $10. Right, first of all, we have this little dice roll here. So let's roll a d20, and our result was 17. So we don't even need dice anymore. We can just use our Macintosh. And we've got the help here. So there's quite a lot going on, as you can see. Blah 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 blah. So here we have random encounter tables. So here on dungeon level 1, these are enemies we'll most likely find, and these are the ones we probably won't come across, and let's just hope that we don't. And we can change a bunch of stuff over here, and over here. We've got the hidden island, which has a different set of enemies. And here we have some help for this table. Very good documentation. And now we have a tool which can resolve combat. You can load in the monsters in here and see how things play out, and change a whole bunch of settings. Again, quite in depth. And here we have the experience calculator. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. And over here we have our actual party. So here we have Billings Bailings, and we can re-roll them here. Yes. And this gives us a bunch of new stats here. Calculates everything here. There we go. And we have a few points left over to redistribute. Also got all this special ability stuff down here. Again, very, very detailed. We can change the player name, the class, the race, everything. It's quite in depth. And you can also change stats manually, and again, it will calculate everything for you. So let's give myself, I don't know, 13 strength. Yep, 14 dexterity, that sounds good to me. 10, 9, 11, and high charisma because it's me. There you go, calculates everything. Very useful. And of course, we have some very detailed documentation down here. Now we've got beasts and beings, all the monsters we can encounter, like a dolphin. You don't want to encounter that. And we've got some special descriptions down here as well. The unknown arts, there's spells and such. And of course, equipment. And you can even create your own module. And there's a bunch of charts here as well, and different dice you can roll. Yep. 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 And down here, finally, we have a calendar for your scenario. So yeah, this is really a fantastic tool for Dungeon Masters. I can see this being very useful back in the day, and even now it could probably be quite useful, assuming you still play with the 2nd edition rules of Dungeons and Dragons, that is. But yeah, it's great presentation, great documentation. This is a really great example of what HyperCard can do if someone really goes all out. So that is Dungeon Mastery, a really fantastic Dungeon Master tool.